Welcome back to Feel Free, the only podcast that'll tell you to chase your dreams and also call you out on all your bullshit. If you haven't already, give us a like, subscribe, follow, and share on all your favorite listening and social media platforms. Got a good show planned for you today. I got my friend Jackie here to talk about nutrition and gluten stuff. But we're here to have a good time tonight. Brought you on because I wanted to talk about your knowledge with nutrition and the things that you've been dealing with in your life. And I had Jimmy on here for the first episode ever. Mm-hmm. Now I got you coming on here too. So maybe you guys putting your knowledge on nutrition together be one hell of a doctor. Together being a doctor.
I agree. Us together would make one great doctor.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, are you guys going to actually be like studying to be a doctor?
I mean, I would like to eventually get there. I don't know if that's necessarily what Chris wants, but
okay. It's
also going to be slow though. Like that's not like what I'm going for right now.
Yeah, of
course. I'm trying to make money right now to afford taking my time to become a doctor.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to just go $200,000 in debt.
No, take out a bunch of loans.
Yeah.
And not know what I'm doing.
But Chris doesn't. Chris is doing other stuff though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's still like a good goal to have, especially because you guys do it the more holistic route too. So you're not like doing the biomedical science route that most colleges, universities, and pre-med and all that other stuff does. You guys got your bachelor's in nutrition.
No, we got our bachelor's in biomedical science.
Biomedical science.
Yeah.
Was there the minor or emphasis in nutrition?
It was, yeah. So the school that we went to, National University of Health Sciences, they were trying to make nutrition a degree that they offer there, but they were going through the whole process and then COVID hit and it just ended up not happening. So It's an emphasis on nutrition. I think we literally only need like one, maybe two classes and then just take the exam and we would also be certified in nutrition. But yeah, so we have what we would need to become a nutritionist, but it just wasn't fully offered. Our degree is actually biomedical science, because that's basically the basic degree you have to get to do anything in like the medical field.
Yeah, of course.
Even holistic science, like they're not going to take you seriously if you don't understand that.
Yeah,
so.
The biomedical science degree has a lot of like biology in it, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
But thank God that's over.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys graduated last year too, right?
Yeah, September.
Yeah. I was 2 months before that, so that's nice. I'm already sitting over here. I think I've been telling Lisa and a couple other people I'm already like thinking of going back and getting my master's next year. So,
yeah, honestly, like I was thinking about it. When I was a kid, I just always kept telling myself, I can't wait to be done with school. I can't wait to be done. And then I realized I don't think I'm ever going to be done.
No,
because even when I have the option to be done, I just feel like I'm limiting myself. So,
of course,
I try to like learn something else.
Be satisfied with that? No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about your gluten intolerance and how that whole thing went down. Okay. And that kind of spurred you into gaining this knowledge of nutrition, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it was pretty catastrophic, though, what had happened.
Oh, yeah.
And once you found out it was a gluten intolerance, it's like, oh, my God, I have to change my entire diet.
Yeah, even though it was a gluten intolerance, though, like, things were so bad, it was so far beyond that. Like, where I'm at now, I just have a gluten allergy. Yeah. Where I was at then, it was on a whole other level. I couldn't have anything, basically.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, you guys were super strict on it.
Which is actually funny, too, because, like, in the beginning of mine and Chris's journey and everything, like, we didn't know what we were doing. We just, tried to figure it out. And we were so plant-based.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we almost completely became vegan at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's so funny because now where we're at is the complete opposite.
The complete opposite of vegan. It's funny how things change once you start getting knowledge,
Like, I'm not going to lie, it did help me so much, like, in my process of finding out.
Of course.
But as I went along, you fine-tune it, you get better and better. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to discount it, but I'm not going to say that what I'm doing now is not better.
Yeah, of course. But that's just like from your own experience too, and the knowledge you've been given. Mm-hmm. It's not like you just like read an article and you're like, I this is what I believe now.
No.
I'm a vegan because of this, right?
No, this has become not only my whole life, but just like everything I am.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys put a lot of time and money into your nutrition.
It's not even just like nutrition. We care about living optimally.
Yeah.
And we just like thrive on trying to figure out how to do it. And we've not only suffered ourselves, but we've watched so many other people suffer worst that the one greatest thing I could ever do is maybe give somebody a solution.
Of course.
If they choose to take it or not, now that's a totally different topic.
Yeah,
but
that's
if
the
I could at
difference.
least offer one, I'll sleep better at night.
Yeah, of course. I mean, to give people, that positivity that they could change. Mm-hmm. Like you guys did that with Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe and Joey, I'd say, because Chris was like a really big inspiration for Joey.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like, he's a huge inspiration for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, he's on these, like, Facebook groups for, like, diabetes and stuff like that. Chris does not have diabetes.
No, he doesn't.
He's, like, on these Facebook groups helping, like, random people. Like, he'll have random people hit him up and just be like, what should I buy? Is this okay? Can you read this? Everyone's always calling him, my sister, everybody, like, what should I eat today? Like, is this all right? Like, it's funny.
I mean, he's got the knowledge, though.
Exactly. And all he wants to do is share it.
Yeah,
so.
of course. I mean, it'd be crazy to think that you guys couldn't have, like, your own practice someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's already doing it, and you guys aren't even getting paid for it. You're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart.
That's what I'm saying. I've always told him I think he's discounting himself if he doesn't keep going.
Oh my God, of course.
Like obviously, like we don't want to be in a hospital. We don't want to be like doctors in like your typical setting. But I think without just truly educating ourselves as much as we can to the point where we are doctors that can do whatever we want with it, I think he'd be discounting himself.
Yeah, but to have that piece of paper too, it's not like it's like then you get like almost the whole world to respect you then, because like if you stop at where you guys are at right now, which is totally fine too. And you can start your own holistic living business, almost like life coaches for nutrition. You can do that. The people that you're going to be getting are people that are going to trust that type of knowledge, though. The people that don't see the doctorate, though, are going to discredit you.
Well, right, exactly.
So once you get that doctorate, then they're like, oh, shit, they did the work.
Oh, yeah. And plus what we're trying to do goes so far, like just beyond nutrition and stuff, too.
Yeah. It's well-being in general. Yeah. So you guys set out on this journey to change your well-being as a whole. It started with the nutrition thing, though, because, I mean, the family that Chris came from, he came from a typical American family. My mom and dad are the same way. What they eat and drink. Joey, same thing with his family as well. And then with your family as well. Like the standard American diet is a lot of gluten, a lot of soda, a lot of fast food, sugar, corn, starch, and all that stuff.
Well, I'm fortunately very blessed that my mom was like ahead of the game. Like when we were growing up, if we got pink eye, she put chamomile tea bags on our eyes. If we had like almost anything, she knew how to solve it without taking us to the doctor. I mean, like I could tell you. I could tell you, call me one day, tell me what you got, and I'll tell you how to fix it. Like, no joke. But, so my mom was really good on that. We were never allowed to have soda growing up. She makes all the food. Like, she's on it. So, I fortunately, honestly, like, if she wasn't who she was, like, I probably would have died. Like, no joke, because she already like had us so well on that path to begin with.
So if you were like eating what Chris's parents and my parents were feeding you,
I would have died for sure.
Probably. Yeah.
I don't think with how hard it was to even like fix it to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I don't even want to know what that would have been like.
So what had happened? What made you change?
So, okay, so you want me to start from the beginning?
You're going to have to,
okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So, I'm not going to necessarily, like, say, what the full connection is here. I'm just going to, tell you how it happened. So, I was a heavy smoker for at least, like, 6 years, a pack a day, on a normal day. Not if I'm drinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But since I was honestly 16 years old, because I hung out with all the older kids and we'd go into the gas station and eventually they just thought I was as old as everybody else was. So They just would give me cigarettes every time I went in there. So for a long time, I didn't try to start quitting until I turned 21. Because like my voice was like done, so I sounded so deep and scratchy, and I was coughing, and I knew where this was going, so I decided to stop cold turkey. And at the time, I was commuting to UIC, so I was driving to Chicago from the suburbs every day, which from Bolingbrook is like at least an hour.
Yeah, that's fucked.
At least an hour.
Yeah, you're crazy for that.
Yeah, and then I would try to find parking down there, and I always got free parking, but trust me, it took you were looking for a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
And stuff like that. So I was working full time. I was a waitress, so I had no weekends, no nights, no holidays, no nothing. So I was under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And then I quit cold turkey, and apparently something literally snapped. I had like a nervous breakdown. Literally, I didn't know that was a real thing. But I went to the doctor,
breakdown.
And they're like, well, your body's undergoing a nervous breakdown. I'm like, I thought that was a metaphor.
Holy shit.
So I guess my whole system was having nervous breakdown. It's just like under too much stress from probably just the combination of everything.
Yeah, life in general.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it just started getting really bad really fast. I still was like not smoking. So of course I was like a psychopath. But even outside of that, I also like, at the time I was a person who like went to school and worked really hard, and like I didn't even know, like I was never even someone who was like, I'm going to take a day off work. Like I just worked when I was scheduled. Like I didn't request days off. Like if my birthday was coming up and I got scheduled, I just worked it. I never even thought in advance that I could be like, hey, can I have that day off?
Yeah.
Like I just worked really hard, and like I never took a break, and I never thought it was necessary until that happened. And then I didn't really know how to deal with it. You know, a lot of people don't know how to deal with stress to begin with.
Of course.
But from there, like I started getting like really, really bad health problems. So from there, basically, I couldn't, go to the bathroom for
like
a long
year.
time.
Like
well,
a year?
like not a full year without going at all, but definitely like a couple months. Like I looked pregnant even though I wasn't.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like good pregnant either, because like the rest of me was like frail and like pale.
It didn't look good pregnant.
No, like pregnant women are glowing. Like
full
they
of
look,
life.
Yes,
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
full of life. Like
yeah.
literally. I looked like I was giving a death baby. Like,
You're
like
dying almost.
Yes, it was not good. So like I was pale, and I was like becoming frail and stuff. And this, okay, I guess I kind of skipped ahead here. So I'll start. So basically, I couldn't go to the bathroom for a while, right? I didn't think anything of it. I was just trying to get through the withdrawals and trying to face not smoking anymore. Like that was really all I was focused on. Like I don't think I even noticed how long I had gone at first until it got to a point where it hurt so bad and there was like nothing I could do about it. So, and because I don't like to, rely on things, I didn't want to just like go take a laxative or go do this. It did eventually get to that point, and it didn't work.
That's when you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's when I really knew I was fucked. Like it didn't work. I tried the suppositories, the milk of magnesia, the laxatives, the whatever. It wasn't working. So I had no health insurance at the time. And because, now I'm 21 and I'm an adult and I'm a waitress and I don't have any health insurance. So I couldn't even afford health insurance. So I basically just tried to start like doing whatever I could. Chris had already like had this knowledge that I could have a gluten allergy.
Yeah.
Because my dad had a gluten allergy, and Chris already knew so much about food, even though he was like still eating like every normal human being at the time.
Yeah.
And he still had all this knowledge. He just like hadn't really like activated it yet.
Yeah, of course.
So he had this knowledge. He's like, I really think you have an allergy and stuff. So we start going to doctors and we start trying to figure out like why I can't go. And they want me to take all these tests, all these things. I have x-rays done. My organs are starting to reshape now.
That's fucked up.
I'm like, trying not to be super graphic. So I'm like summarizing a few months for you.
But so the blockage had just forced your organs.
Yes,
into
basically it got to a
parts.
point where it was getting so bad and so big that like everything had to shape itself around it in order to like
exist.
Yes, and to do its job and stuff like that. So it was really bad. And I kept trying to work out because I was someone, I've done sports my entire life. Like I was very, very heavy into working out. Even at that time, I didn't want to stop. In college, I actually signed up for a workout class just to make sure that when I had a full day of classes, I still got my workout in because I was like not messing around. So it got to a point where I was fainting.
Yeah.
I was puking.
It's fucked up.
I couldn't do like a normal workout anymore. So like now I'm like, all right, well, this is bullshit. Everybody says work out and go to the doctor and do all these things, and it's not working. They want me to take so many tests. They gave me like a whole packet of like exams I was going to have to take and stuff, which with someone without health insurance, it was going to cost so much money.
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
And I was on an assembly line. They weren't listening to me. Every single one of them just kept trying to prescribe me a stronger laxative. And now at the time, I was working with one of my friends who also was having like bowel issues, but that she's dealt with her whole life. She was prescribed these laxatives her whole life. She cannot hold it. Like she just goes. She has no control over her bowel anymore.
That's wild.
So literally that's how they fixed it. And she now is at any moment.
Yeah, that's how
it's terrible.
That's fucked up.
Yes. And so I mean, she was even like, just don't do it. Like,
yeah.
Like, I didn't know any better. You know what I mean? And now I don't know what to do, So I was like, yeah, screw that. I'm not taking any of this. So I found a colonics doctor. This is where, like, I start, at the time, like, too, we're addressing what I'm eating. But, like, I'm not going to lie. I really didn't want to think it was a gluten allergy.
No.
I was like everyone else. And I was like, I love food and
I love pizza.
Yeah, and you're
bread.
Really hurting my feelings right now. And I do not appreciate this.
And I will not face this.
Yeah, and this is bullshit. And there's got to be some reason. Just get it out of me and we're going to be all right.
Yeah, and I can keep eating the same shit that I'm eating.
So for people who don't know what colonics is, again, I'm trying not to be too graphic, but they literally shove a tube in your rectum.
Yeah.
And they surge water through it. It's like it starts to like flow water throughout your entire system.
Yeah,
and you're like
course.
Laying on this machine, which has like a whole hole underneath it to catch whatever it can flush out of you. And it's supposed to be like, I mean, again, I'm not going to discount it, but it's supposed to be, good at helping you with flushing you out or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
And most people, like, literally the first time, I mean, you feel it instantly. It's like water just flowing through you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I was in so much pain and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Nothing was coming out. Like, nothing. It wasn't working.
That's fucking wild.
It was so terrible. So I did it 6 times.
6 fucking times?
6 times.
Jeez.
And then at this point, like I said, I'm pale. I'm frail. I can't work out. I can't do anything. I'm losing my hair. My stomach is huge. I'm an emotional wreck. I'm still not smoking these cigarettes because fuck you.
Fuck.
I had to drop out of school because I just couldn't take it.
Yeah, the stress.
It was so bad. I couldn't take it. I got a second job, got a third job, and decided, all right, I'm going to have to like figure this out. Basically, it was scary. Like I was on my way out, maybe not like tomorrow, but it got to a point where I couldn't sleep at night because I was scared.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to have to ignore this. But yeah, so I was scared. I couldn't go to sleep. So I'd be up all night just,
thinking.
Yeah,
it's life.
What I could do. My mom started like going to these, I don't even know what they are, like these, like a TED Talk for doctors or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she started like, we all started doing all this research. Me, Chris, my mom. I mean, we were on Google all day, every day, doing whatever we could.
Yeah.
Like literally finding anything. At one point, Chris and I made our own enema.
Okay.
This is how I know this man is going to be the man I'm in love with forever. He had to shove a tube, an entire foot. I kid you not. We had to mark
A foot?
We had to mark 12 inches up my rectum to perform our own enema.
It's fucked.
That still did not work.
Jesus.
And it practically made me seize.
Yeah.
So Chris was like then laying on top of me, like trying to like hold me down. Because I wasn't like actually seizing, but like I was like shaking uncontrollably. I like was freezing.
Yeah,
like
you're in shock,
yeah,
though.
shit was going on. So, you know, again, he comes in to help save the day again with that. But anyway, so my mom's going to all these talks with doctors and stuff. And she finds this man who is like a gluten holistic doctor. His name is Anthony Soresco, and he is at Clarendon Hills, and this is the man that saved my life. But he's actually a chiropractor who specializes in like gluten intolerance and allergies.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool because like he went to school to be a chiropractor, but he can still, like he specialized in all those other things, you know? So like he was helping people who had cancer. He's helping, like, I mean, this man, I went to the school he went to because of him. But
Okay.
he went to National University of Health Sciences. Like this was the man who changed mine and Chris's life like forever.
For sure.
And I'm not gonna lie, like Chris, my mom, like it was a group effort at saving my life.
Yeah.
But like without this man,
Yeah, it wasn't possible.
yeah, like
for sure.
he was the breakthrough.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. But anyways, so we found him. He's like, you know, I think you have a gluten allergy. We're gonna give you all this testing. He's the first doctor that was like, we're gonna get you allergy tested.
That's crazy that's the first one.
Very first one.
Really?
That was like, yeah.
So an entire year of seeing Western doctors.
It was a year and a half.
A year and a half
basically,
of traditional Western medicine doctors.
yeah.
And
thinking, basically I was just gonna die. They were telling me I was gonna have to like probably like have my colon removed and get a colostomy bag and like all kinds of
Wait.
Yeah.
Can you like sue them?
for
being
for recommendations I didn't take.
No, for being fucking idiots.
If that was the case, I'm so sorry for people who may disagree with this, but half you motherfuckers would be out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
At least.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I could tell you so many off-topic stories as to why they will be. They're all.
Oh my god.
Yes. And some of them don't know any better. It's what they're learned.
Of
I'm
course.
sorry that you're a sheep. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. Think for your fucking self.
Like,
That's crazy.
but yes, he was the first ones. He had me tested for over like 250 foods, that raw and cooked.
Okay.
Because you could be actually allergic to something raw but not cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, at the time, I was so inflamed. Everything was so inflamed that everything came up.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't have anything. So he's like, all right, we're going to switch your coffee out for matcha. So that's
Okay.
where
That's where you started drinking
Yep,
matcha.
that's where I became matcha lady, which was wonderful. He started like fine tuning like everything I was eating. There was no more gluten. That was when like we pretty much thought we were gonna have to like be vegan and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't really know. It wasn't that we thought anything was wrong with meat. We just at the time thought that like vegetables were the answer, and we also thought dairy was inflammatory and. Pretty much that and like our own morals of just loving animals. We were like vegetables all the way.
Yeah.
So that's where we, started trying to like just really like figure out what I was eating and stuff like that. But it was a combination of honestly everything because my doctor's like, you have to learn how to handle stress. He was also the first one that was like, you need to release. Like he wasn't just like, well, you're chiropractic, like you need an adjustment, like a doctor of chiropractics would say. Like he was like, no, like we're gonna get you on adjustments. We're gonna give you the stim pack therapy.
I love those.
We're gonna
the
get
electric
you.
stim.
Yeah, you're gonna come in like a half hour to an hour early to like lay on these like warm hot towels and relax and have the therapy and stuff. Like he's like, he wasn't like a therapist, but he's like, this is also this is every level. This isn't just like your body. This is mental. This is, your entire being.
Yeah,
this is
emotional.
emotional. This is
Yeah, it's
everything.
the
So
whole
he's
thing.
like, you want to come in and talk to me? Come talk to me. Like, he brought my mom in. Oh my God, he's the most incredible man I ever met. Basically told her, like, she is, like on a path where she is dying, basically. And it's
Your
not.
mom? Oh, you?
Yeah, she.
Okay.
But no, he was saying that about me.
Yeah. I thought you brought
And-
your mom in and was saying that about your mom too. I'm
No,
like, what's
no,
really
no,
going on?
no,
Holy shit.
no.
Everyone's dying.
No, he was just telling like my mom how it was and stuff, and
Okay.
like where I was at, and he's like, and I could see like there's a lot of like emotional trauma here too,
Yeah.
which outside of cigarettes, of course, I had
Some
just
of-
like everybody,
yeah.
we all have our baggage,
Yeah,
but
everyone's got their demons,
yeah, so he's like, I could see there's a lot going on here, and she's not gonna make it if she doesn't figure it out. It's not even gonna. It's not gonna just come down to like what she's eating. Like, you have to learn how to deal with stress. You have to learn how to do all this. And this man deserved every penny, but it was also very expensive.
Yeah,
Very
but
expensive, and I had no insurance.
Yeah, but you're gonna put a price on something like
Oh,
that?
I didn't.
Yeah, you can't.
But I worked 3 jobs
Of course,
to make it
of
work.
course.
I had to go there every single day on my lunch, like in between both jobs.
But
So I would have one job.
But how long did it take for everything to?
It was like a year and a half on the uprise. So the whole
So it was a year and a half
experience-
down and a year and a half up.
Yes, I would
Okay.
say it was the whole experience was like 3 years before I felt like a normal human functioning like person again.
Okay.
And in this time, like maybe I had some like, like small releases or whatever, but like there was still so much that like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah, I mean, well, healing from something that traumatic doesn't happen in like a couple weeks,
Right.
or a couple months.
right. It was my entire body, mind, soul, everything. I literally stripped myself down to my core
Yeah,
and like rebuilt.
it's a pain in the ass.
Oh my God, it was the worst. It was like the hardest thing I ever did. And it's
sure.
the greatest thing I've ever done
for
for
sure,
myself.
absolutely,
Because I'll never forget it and I'll never go back.
of course. But it made you into the person that you are today.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean,
Hell
I'm 3 years sober, and I only just feel like I have a lot more work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually like scrolling on TikTok, which I do sometimes, and like a sober video came up of this guy talking about like, the addicts who are 10 years sober and they think they've learned it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that relapse too.
Yeah.
And he said, and I admit to that because it happened to me at 10 years, but now he's different, right? He took that and he learned from it, so the healing process for something extremely traumatic, it could take the rest of my life to completely
for
heal
sure.
whatever damage I did to myself.
Oh, for sure.
Emotionally or physically. You
yeah.
know?
I mean, like, even though it was a year and a half on the uprise, like, there was still plenty to work out after
Oh,
that.
of course.
It was just, I wasn't on any medication. I didn't need anything. I was
Yeah.
going to the bathroom all the time. I was
It was
a
good way to
normal
live.
human being. I just had to, like, now heal the stomach.
Of course.
But yeah, so we got me on these strict diets, and I started finding all these different ways because I'm like, how do I not be stressed when I'm, and then that was the other thing too. So I did drop out of school, but like I said before, I can't just do nothing.
Of course.
And especially when I'm going through all that and feeling like I have no control, I was like hating myself. So I went back to school, but I went to a junior college, Joliet Junior College, because I just wanted to at least finish out. I was at UIC for 3 years before I dropped out. And then I had to go get my associates at junior college because that was just the situation I was in.
I know the feeling. Yep.
So I did that. We've got everything fine-tuned and we're really focused on all of it. And then at the time, Chris started going to this doctor too, just to like lose weight and get chiropractics and like, also have tested for food allergies and everything like that. And that's really what got us on our entire everything.
On the path.
Oh my God, it literally became everything I am.
I mean, it is still your guys' like entire life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like people talk about like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like people talk about like, okay, you're on a diet. Like, no, this is my life.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle change.
Like, it's not just like a gluten allergy or anything like that. Like,
I think diet's a
looking-
very misleading word.
it really is.
Yeah.
Like looking into like living as optimally as I can and trying to better myself in every way that I can and enhance my mind and reach a different part of my soul and let my body practically, prevent the aging or whatever, like, I got to do, like, I'm going to fill it out to its fullest potential. You know what I mean? The fullest extent that I can. So it literally became everything that I am.
Yeah, that you guys are.
But that we both are, yeah.
I mean, you inspired Joe to do the same thing, so.
And Joe is incredible because he's the first one who listened 100%. Like, people listen and they try.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, we're all fighting our battles, and not everybody can really. You have to give it 100% to really, like, depending on what your goal is. Like, if I didn't give it everything I had, I wasn't going to get there.
Of course.
And
I mean, yours was like a life or death situation, though.
Right.
So you were forced to give that 100%.
And with Joe's not being that way, and for him to give 100% like that was like the most incredible thing we'd seen.
Yeah, but like mentally, like, you got to understand, like, he was in a dark place though too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, and when you're going through something like what Joe went through, it might not have been life or death in the sense of like I'm physically dying, but like he was definitely depressed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, before he started the running and stuff, when he was living in my parents' house in that room, like, it was life or death for him, because it had almost been like 6 years of him just like being there,
I honestly think a lot of people are honestly depressed and don't know they're depressed because,
of course,
because they're not pushing themselves further.
Yeah, but that could be for. I talk about it a lot on here, like, just with technology, the way social media is, or fast food, stimulus in general. Like, we're drunk on stimulus in this world. You can get whatever you want whenever you want, and there are graphs showing the rise with technology in the last 50 years, and it's completely analogous with the graph with the rate of suicide and depression. So what the fuck's going on? So, and people don't want to face that, though.
Nope.
They don't want to tell themselves they're depressed, or they don't want to tell themselves that they need to see a therapist, because no one wants to feel that weak.
Or they want a magic pill so that they don't have to try.
Yeah, of course, but
take this away and fix me, and then I can go about everything I want to do that I'm doing that's not working.
Yeah, but living a good life isn't easy work.
No, but oh my God, is it worth it? Like,
yeah, totally.
That's just like the part that, like, I'll never understand. Like, thank God it's not easy, dude. This has been like the ride of my life.
Yeah, it's worth it though.
Like, yeah, like, what a thrill.
What a thrill.
Like, literally, like after all that, like, I became like the person I just, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, everything I always wanted to be, that, like, like, not like, oh, I want to grow up and be an astronaut, but just like feel the way I feel about myself, love myself and people.
For who you are, actually.
Yeah, and the people around me, and not live with guilt and shame and hate.
So, I mean, like, you could have looked at it from a different way. So you've got this perspective. You're like, I just want to fully love myself, fully, for what I'm worth, right? Now, imagine you didn't have the gluten problem with your body and stuff, right? So there wasn't this big red flag that you needed to deal with the emotional and mental stress. Now, if you didn't have this gluten flag, would you have dealt with
my emotional burdens? No.
So it was a tipping point, right?
I literally did face like every demon I ever had. I mean, I couldn't even tell you, like, shit got so real.
Yeah.
And even just outside of, like, dying and stuff, even going through withdrawals, like,
yeah, it's
I mean, you
up.
face your demons. I mean, at one point, you practically think they're standing in front of you.
Sometimes you don't even want to, like, go outside.
Or you're dreaming about, like, your worst memories that, like, you put so far down, you're like, I'm going to forget this ever happened. And now you're, like, dreaming of it, like, oh my God.
You're like, fuck, I didn't really want to deal with everything all at once.
Yeah, no, at the time, I was a very angry person. I had a hard time accepting the fate I was given, even before I got sick. And I was so pissed when I got sick. I was so mad because, I try so hard and I care about everybody. I'm such a good person. Like, what is this
You're
shit?
just like, why did the universe do this?
It filled my heart with just so much more hatred because I already felt like growing up, I was, just had to deal with the cards I was dealt. And then I was finally at an age where I could control it, and I was still dealing with the cards I was dealt. and yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it made you who you are right now.
Exactly.
And, like, some people take would take like a situation like you were in, maybe not like so much like I'm going to die when I'm 21, but like they take their problems and they blow them out of proportion and they go the whole woe is me route, you know, and they don't change. Or like you said, they just want a magic pill to fix it, right? They think that by picking up their phone and ordering things like this is going to make me happy or fulfilled, right? And they feel even emptier at the end of the day.
Or they put it all on another person. Like
Or
they
put
need
it
to
on
be with
another
somebody.
person. Yeah, or they put it on their loved ones.
Yeah,
right?
or their loved ones.
Or they take it to work and they treat customers like shit or just whatever, you know, by not dealing with like...
It's very destructive.
It is very destructive. But I think that's a problem with our society. Obviously, like when we talk on here, I usually speak of just America because it's not like I've spent a lot of time in other countries, especially other like developed first world countries, right? So I only speak on like American people, but it is definitely a problem here with negativity, health in general, well-being, you know, like we don't have to talk about everything we disagree with. Here because we do disagree with a lot that's going on here.
Oh yeah, especially after COVID, it's just so much worse.
Yeah, of course. It actually amplified a lot of people's worst qualities.
Oh yeah. I think in times where just a complete chaos, it really, you know, how you cope with things like that really is the foundation of who you are.
Yeah, as an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll either make or break you. And, you know, like, yes, I'm someone who, if I have to go through something really terrible, you better believe I'm getting something good out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I'm not about to, like, deal with this and let more bad shit happen to me.
Yeah,
like,
no, fuck that.
No, like.
No, this is going to be worth it.
Yeah, this is going to be worth it. But, you know, for people who, like, don't, even if it's subconscious, it's just like a part of themselves, like they just hate themselves for it. You know what I mean?
I think they hate themselves for not trying as hard as they know they could.
There's like this desire in them, and the more that they don't listen to it,
the more they hate themselves.
The more they literally hate themselves.
And the more they hate other people who are smiling and living their life.
Oh yeah, it's not even necessarily just about smiling and stuff, but like it literally gets to you on a metabolic level. Like I said before, like it'll go straight to like your health and stuff. You know, if you're so pissed off with yourself and everything already around you, and like the hair on the back of your neck is practically standing up, it's like you're existing too close to me. You know,
like someone opens their mouth before they even speak, you're just like, shut the fuck up.
Yes, like
shut
literally.
the fuck up. I don't want to hear it.
Like it doesn't even matter. You could be smiling. You could be pissed. Like sure, two mad people are probably gonna like fight it out. It doesn't like matter. At the end of the day, like somebody with like that much energy in that aggressive or negative of a manner, like that is going to pour out of them.
But what do you think? Now, you mentioned, like, if you're eating like shit, if you're not working out, and you hate your life, okay? What do you start out with? For those people, what would you tell them, Jackie? What would you tell them?
So, I'm assuming you would say workout.
Me?
Yeah.
I would say, well, you see...
This is kind of building off yours and Joey's conversation.
Of course, in which you disagree with, which is fine. This is why we're having the podcast.
Well, constructive, not like, I don't disagree with what you said at all.
You have a different method. That's it.
Just a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, not even, like, I 100% agree with what you said, but I have a different perspective to present to you.
See, I just think it's all based on the individual. And when I say that, it's like, think about this. When Joe flipped his switch, okay, and I'll use two different experiences right now. I'll use Joe and Joey for this one, okay? Joe wanted to win a bet, okay?
Yes.
Joe, he's been a physical guy his whole life, like athletic and stuff, right? He didn't actually start doing what you guys told him with the nutrition until he broke that 5-minute mile. And then he got really serious about that. But for him, he gravitated towards, I just need to get outside and fucking run, right? I just need to do something. I need to sweat. For Joey needed to change his entire diet. So he just focused on the one thing. For you, you're going to just say flat out that it's just diet.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. No, this is...
So what's your perspective then?
This is what I'm saying. So, like, I totally and 100%... Okay, so the average person is pretty much what you're talking about. Just like not doing anything, wants to do something. Where do you start? And honestly, like whichever one is going to help you, 100% go for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to say food is better, or this is better, you know, whatever. Like they do work optimally together. So I'm sorry. If you're not doing both, you are not living optimally.
Of course.
So honestly struggling, trying to get myself back because, you know,
I mean, once you're out of the workout routine, though, it's tough to get back into it.
So, like, it's no joke. Like, an object in motion will stay in motion, and an object at rest, it is so real.
Like, once you stop to get going again.
Yes, especially for how long you let it go for. And even somebody who didn't work out their whole lives, it's so much harder. Oh, it's so much harder. But, so I feel like, okay, you know, you feel like crap, you go to the gym, you probably will feel really good, and you're going to feel it right away. You know, maybe not till you leave, because, you know, when you're working out, it kind of sucks too.
Yeah, of course.
But when you leave, positive reassurance that you just did something good. And with food, you know, you can eat a piece of meat, or you can eat a vegetable, or whatever it is you want, and you're not going to feel that way off of one.
No.
Like, maybe if you're on drugs or something, but...
Maybe if you're on drugs.
I'm not going to hear people like, well, no.
Yeah, well, wait a minute.
But, like, you're not going to feel that direct reward that you just did something really good for yourself. However, for one, if you eat really badly, oh, you feel it. Don't you feel heavy?
Yeah.
And like the world is like everything's weighing on you.
Of course.
Just like even if you're not laying there, like your entire inner being is just heavy and over it. Like you feel it all over you.
Yeah.
And if you are somebody, sure, you can like eat bad. And if you're somebody who's like working out all the time, you can probably really metabolize it well. And somebody who's not already working out like that, like it's just, I feel like if you start eating better, like I weigh the same as I did before I got sick, and I feel so much lighter. It's insane.
Of course.
Like my whole being is light. I'm not foggy minded. I'm not like, I felt like for the first time in my life, I can see like all the color around me. I just see everything. Like I'm not living with my blinders on, you know, just seeing my own self. Like
it's like a heightened sense of awareness almost. Yeah.
Yes. It's like for the first time I had reached like total consciousness of my surroundings and like everything. And it like really made me understand, like as someone who worked out their whole life and didn't like even think about diet and I was like a machine at one point. All right, like I as a kid working out that much, you're a machine, dude.
Yeah, you
like,
could just keep going.
Oh my god! And then as someone who like couldn't work out, but then really, really focused on like their diet and everything, who I am, like, and like the peace I feel within me, did not get reached until
the diet,
until the food came in.
Yeah, until the nutrition came in.
And I feel like maybe you'll have that like temporary release, like that direct reward after you work out, but that's going to fade.
Of course, yeah.
And you're going to keep eating what you're eating, and you're going to keep feeling that way.
Yeah. Well, it's more like the endorphins are
right.
doing
well,
that.
Of course, like your body is like it's all in your head by any means.
So, but when we said like mental state, like, oh, I got to get right and I got to go to the gym. Like we were basically just saying like, yeah, those endorphins, like after you work out,
for sure.
like that's the shit.
But I feel 100%. But like the endorphins that I feel now when I'm eating as healthy as I am and I'm as light as I am, I honestly get so stimulated that I'm like, I need to go work out because I have so much energy burning inside of me. I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah, if you don't do something.
So like, it like forces you to work out. It's like if I don't work out, like I'm gonna go nuts right now. Like like I get like you're just so naturally stimulated. And then the other reason why I also was gonna present another perspective is that you could be as skinny as you want and you can work out every day. But at the end of the day, like you could still die of colon cancer.
Yep, if you're eating that shit.
Oh yeah, there's a book called Spark, which is a phenomenal book. It's literally about the effects of aerobic exercise on the brain. And literally how much exercise changes your brain, okay? Like, I'm not going to tell you the whole book, but, you know, it'll prevent you from aging. It'll help you with addiction. It literally
like just physical activity in general, though, right?
Brand new cells. Oh, yeah. Well, aerobic exercise, it was mostly focused on because of its interaction with oxygen and that effect on the brain and stuff. Because if you're going anaerobic, it's going to have a different metabolic, effect on you and everything. So this book was mostly about aerobic, okay? But this man who it all started because they were trying to get rid of PE. They didn't take it seriously.
Crazy.
They're trying to get rid of it at schools. And this man like wanted to prove that it mattered. And he was a gym teacher and stuff, and he wanted to prove it mattered. And he started this whole program. It was called like 0 Hour PE, and it was the kids in Naperville, and they would have to go to school. Like, I think they tried to like give them a school credit if they did it. But it was to try to save PE class. And these kids, if they went to school early and they did this hour PE class with them or whatever, and then they went about their day, if they did it for the whole semester, they got a credit, and then they like analyzed all the kids. They had them wearing like heart monitors, or not heart monitors, like the tracker things.
Yeah, it was an actual case study.
Yeah. And they had, they looked at all their tests, everything. All of those kids, like incredibly, like their grades, the way they took exams, like everything improved so rapidly that it actually became a permanent thing there. And he changed everything. And it talks all about, the man that changed everything, who died of colon cancer.
Yeah, because of what he ate, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's
like
crazy.
He changed the lives of kids. Dude, it's not just at Naperville now. Like states all across the United States have started to pick it up, and it should honestly be offered at more schools than it is.
Of course.
But it's truly incredible. I mean, Naperville has ranked highest in the world in math, science.
It's a good town to live in, though.
Well, right, but it did so much for their education system.
Yeah.
That places in like Kentucky and lower income or more rural areas, they started to adapt it, and they started seeing less violence with their students, like just all kinds of stuff. But I'm sorry, that wasn't even the point. The point is that the man changed everything, and he still died of colon cancer.
Yeah, but that's all because of what he's putting in his body.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I truly believe that working out can change everything, but I think that your diet
could kill you.
Like, without it, like at the end of the day, you can be super healthy and never work out a day in your life, and you'll probably be frail, and maybe you won't have the best posture, and maybe like when you get older, you'll have really fragile bones and you'll break easily, and stuff like that. Like, shit. I do think they both go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But I truly think that like if you don't focus on your diet and what you're eating, like, it will kill you.
For sure.
And it's going to do it way faster and way, way worse than you not working out.
And I mean, that's the older generations that are dealing with that right now. I think our generation, we do, and even Gen Z, like, we are unhealthy. Don't get us wrong. Like, I took copious amounts of like drugs and destroyed my body.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone's done unhealthy stuff, I'd like to think that we're a little more conscious of what we're doing. So like people of our generation are trying to make those changes. The older generations, like our parents' generation, they were raised a certain way.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And it shows. To even get like my mom to change,
absolutely.
Or like Chris's dad.
The craziest part is that they're suffering.
I know.
They are literally suffering.
It is fucking wild.
It's not like they're like, I feel great.
Yeah. No, they're just always
suffering.
complaining too. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, if I complained, here's the thing. When I was going off the rails on all of my drugs and shit, okay, everybody wanted to tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing, right? Because it's visible, right? Like, it was a mild form. It was a form of psychosis, right? I was psychotic for a little bit, right? I made those changes to be a better person because I hated myself, right? People in the older generations that are maybe just a little bit overweight, right? Whatever. Or, my insides hurt sometimes. Like, it's not like this huge red flag that's glaring at them.
Some of them have major red flags.
Some of them do have major red flags. Like, my mom had a really crazy scare with her heart. I know
Chris's mom had 2 heart attacks.
And they don't fucking change.
No.
And it's crazy to me.
Yeah. Or even my dad. Like, literally.
It's fucking wild. And then you say something, and then they go, I know, I got to do it. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, you guys wanted to call shit on me for taking a bunch of ecstasy. You won't even stop drinking soda pop. Like, and I will give them this, okay? Sugar is one of the most addictive things I've ever come across in my life. Okay,
For
and I've been addicted to alcohol.
Sugar's addictive.
It's super
Ask
addictive.
anyone who's been on keto. You went through withdrawals.
Oh yeah, what's it called?
Keto flu.
The keto flu. Yeah,
Yep.
you fucking hate it.
100%.
It's fucking crazy to me because even like the withdrawals from like alcohol will like kill people, right? Like that's fucked up.
Yep.
You won't probably die if you stop eating sugar, but people blow it way out of proportion.
But I mean, again, if you're somebody who's like, well, okay, I'm not going to say that because I was going to say maybe somebody who's like, 400 pounds who then tries keto, maybe it's that dramatic. I do actually know somebody who did that though, and they actually were very successful. So that's why I kind of took that back. But it is a very, very sudden change, and it can be very dramatic.
Yeah, of course.
And it can.
I'm not going to compare the withdrawals to refined sugar to the withdrawals from alcohol, though.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, no, it's fucked up.
Oh, God, no. Those are two totally different. Yeah, no.
But the addictive potential of sugar, crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you get it everywhere.
No, we're not going to discount alcohol by any means.
I mean, the sugar's everywhere, though, and
like,
that's a huge problem.
Alcohol is...
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like heroin.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we touched base on a lot of really good points today.
We did.
I think we informed a lot of people of your journey and also your knowledge on the nutrition part and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about today? Could always have you on again, obviously.
Well, is there something else you want me to talk about?
No, I mean, we kind of talked about your journey through the gluten intolerance and, kind of what spurred you and Chris to change your life, and take your well-being seriously. I was going to ask if there's any specific diets that you are working on right now, but you're basically just going to come on here and say the same thing that Joe says all the time, so that's all right.
I'm sorry, it's not a diet. It's my life.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. That's why I'm kicking myself for writing diet down. Like, whatever. And I mean, you guys are still working. You're doing the Scrum classes. You guys are still like refining your knowledge on nutrition and well-being and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. That's something that like we do on our own even when we're not in school.
Exactly.
I mean, that's honestly most of my knowledge I knew before I even went to class. I was just like, I might as well get a degree at this point because I've done so much of my own research that it's kind of bullshit if nobody takes me seriously.
Yeah, it's the piece of paper, really. I mean, I'm not going to discredit like my bachelor's in philosophy because it taught me how to write and research.
Oh, sure. I mean, you get stuff out of it, for sure.
Yeah, of course. If you want to get stuff out of it. Because I've known people that just go to college to get the piece of paper, spend ridiculous amounts of money, and they don't fully learn. They're like, I'm just trying to get C's in everything, right? But if you really enjoy learning, you're going to get everything out of that degree that you want.
I really think, to be honest, when I went to school, so when I first started, I went to UIC as a math major.
Yep.
Then I went to Joliet Junior College as a psych major. And then I was like, what the hell am I doing? And I knew things that I liked and I knew things that I enjoyed, but nothing really made me happy. It wasn't until I truly found something I wanted to dedicate my entire life to.
Yeah, figuring it out.
That it was like, for the first time, I just wanted to know everything I could about it. Like, it wasn't boring to me. I was doing all my own research on my computer all night long for years, just like learning. And yeah, I mean, of course I had to, but I didn't stop when I got better. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I just wanted to know everything I possibly could. And because I finally found something I cared so much about, I went to get my degree in it, not even knowing if I was ever going to use it. But just because that was just what I did for myself.
Yeah. That's like a mission almost.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you knew you were going to get something good out of it though.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that you get out of it what you put into it. And if you want something good out of it, I think you'll always get something good out of it.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to, you might not like how it comes about, but if you wait, not just wait, but if you can make it to the end, I feel like you may be surprised
at how much you actually enjoy what you're doing.
Just like at anything you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Like if you can really like make it through to the end, like I think people really surprise themselves. When you stop limiting yourself, your potential is endless.
Yeah.
And like I didn't, when you're a kid and you think anything's possible, and then you grow up and you're like, nothing's possible. But then as an adult, and I started finding all these things that I just wanted to learn. I wanted to know, science was my worst subject growing up. I hated science. I couldn't wait till I never had to take another science class a day in my life. And then I went to school to major in it. I truly think that
it's crazy how I think that's wisdom though.
Yeah.
That comes with age.
If you truly you desire it and you let yourself really explore it, you'll surprise yourself
with what you actually like doing.
Yeah,
might be something
or
that you
good
didn't.
at, or new talents you didn't know that you could have.
Yeah, so you just got to try your hand at a lot of things, though.
Yeah,
and also when the opportunity arises, I think you gotta go in with 2 feet. That's always my motto. You know me.
For sure. I mean, I feel like I probably dove in a few times without touching the water, and that probably got me hurt. So I feel like as long as you're putting your foot in, you'll be all right.
Yeah, test the water. Don't do what I do. Don't jump in all.
Test it first.
Please. I'm not responsible for anybody's injuries. If you come to this podcast and I tell you to do something crazy, that's a disclaimer I should have at the end. Your injuries.
Literally.
Yeah, I should record that at the end. I'll write one up. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good episode. Cheers to many more. We'll probably have a couple more, obviously.
Yeah, I got a lot to say.
I know you do. I got to get Jimmy back on here, but he told me that my recording nights are...
Oh, my God, of course. The rating Sunday nights. And Thursday.
I know the rating nights. And I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yes, we're firing him. So.
All right, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, for sure.
Thursdays, he's been getting a lot better about it, though. Like Sundays, he's mostly hasn't been doing. So he could probably honestly do a Sunday.
A Sunday?
Yeah.
I'll hit him up about that because obviously I'm always looking to have people on here, Mm-hmm. I really only do the solo podcast when I can't find anybody.
Well, I mean, and I think that actually kind of gets a lot of you. I think that kind of helps also just for you to dive more into yourself.
Of course, yeah.
Because you can only dive into yourself so much. I mean, this is your podcast. And
it is, yeah.
If you're interviewing other people the whole time, we're not hearing your story and we're not really diving into the heart of John.
I know, but
there's so much there.
Yeah, I understand, Jackie. Just hold on, we're only 17 episodes in.
Well, exactly. So when you throw a few in of just you, it's like you dive into yourself,
I mean, so I actually got hit up, before we end this, I'm going to say this. I actually got hit up by someone who I haven't talked to in a long time. And they hit me up while I was on vacation this past weekend, and they go, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm on vacation." She goes, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I listened to your podcast on grief, and I'm going through some shit right now, and I really appreciate you saying all that." And I'm like,
aww.
Damn, that actually hit me in the heart. I was like, so what I'm doing is totally worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known it's totally worth it, but when I have fans say that to me, or close family friends and all that shit, it means a lot,
It means so much for people to not feel alone.
For sure, especially for that was a tough podcast for me to do.
I know,
because it was 2 weeks.
I was gonna say you wouldn't even do it the first week.
I know, I couldn't do it. I was just 2 weeks of I can't even sit in front of my mic and do this right now. And then after 2 weeks, I'm like, I have to fucking do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did
you
it.
almost worked through it by doing it.
I know, yeah. So, was it a healthy way to do it? I don't know. Maybe. We're still dealing with it positively. I actually got in the gym today, and I was actually playing basketball.
Awesome.
I wasn't jumping, though.
No, because you're
Yeah, I tried jumping for a layup off my left foot, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I can't. So I just did dribbling drills for a half hour.
Have you tried, cryotherapy?
Ice?
Yeah, the freezing.
I haven't iced it in the last week, but
no, they do they have cryotherapy, put it in something.
Oh, no, I haven't looked into that.
Oh, there's you can do it at a few different places. They have them at some chiropractors have them,
okay.
Or some spas.
Because I get ice and stim done at the chiropractor I go to, the electric nodes, and then they wrap it in the ice pack for me.
Yeah, I would try some cryotherapy. My brother,, broke his hand so many times that it was basically 3 times the size of his other hand.
That's
and
crazy.
He was getting cryotherapy done. It was just incredible, like how much it helped with like the inflammation and like the pain go down and stuff.
I'm gonna look into that because this ankle has been rolled so many fucking times. Yeah. So I'll look into that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody coming on tonight, listening to me and Jackie talk about nutrition and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, it's sorry to get graphic with everybody, but thanks for listening.
Yeah, well, I mean, they listen to me talk about my alcoholism. They can handle that shit, you know?
Yeah, well, they got to know a pretty deep side of me just now, and if there's anyone I haven't met yet, they have a very strong idea of who I am before meeting me, so...
Watch my phone
There's
and
that.
all the DM gets blown up like, wow, that was a great episode. That was super graphic. I loved it.
Well, see, I just, it's a hard story to tell, but like I said, like,
Yeah, I mean, you did a good job, though.
if there's somebody who, like, is going through something like that, oh my God, just do something, please.
Yeah, that's why they got to hear this.
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
in case, you know.
Just do something.
The whole point of the podcast is to spur people to make those changes to be better.
Yeah.
Health-wise, well-being-wise, you know, that maybe they can listen to all of our fucked up stories and like make sense out of them or be like, hey, I vibe with that, and then be motivated to do something about it, you know?
Yeah.
So appreciate you coming on and telling that story.
Thank you.
I really hope anyone that listened to that has the inspiration to like do something good with their life in a nutritional and well-being standpoint.
Or just know that you can.
Just know that you can.
Know that if you choose not to, that you are making a choice.
Yeah. You got to stay hungry. You got to keep learning. And you got to keep being better. So I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We're going to peace out of here. Stay tuned and feel free.